I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Garfield Mayor and Council for April 28, 2026 to order at 6:09 PM. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent. Delaney.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Kane.
We're calling Deputy Mayor Tanner. Yeah.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see. Hi, if you record your.
Somebody may do a recount. They gotta pay half. That's why they probably. Depends. And how much depends on what it's $1,000. You know, 2,000, it's not nothing.
Okay, all right.
And they gotta go to court first.
Okay, so I am just taking roll call. So with that being said, Deputy Mayor, Mayoral Advisor Raymond,
Here.
and Mayor Garnto.
Here.
We have a quorum. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of every meeting a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting have been met by publishing an annual meeting notice in the Record and Herald News and by posting such notice in the office of the city clerk as well as in a public place within the municipal building and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 2nd, 2026 and published on January 7th, 2026. This notice can also be found on our website at garfieldnj.org/pages/legal ads. At this time, if we could please stand for the flag salute.
The United States of America. For which it
You can please remain standing for our prayer. Unfortunately, Pastor John could not be with us this evening, and I just ask that everyone keep both him and his family in their thoughts and prayers. Heavenly Father, we come before you with gratitude for the opportunity to serve our community. We ask for your presence in this room as we begin this meeting. Grant wisdom to our mayor and council members that their decisions may be thoughtful, fair, and guided by a spirit of service. Help them to listen with open minds, speak with clarity and respect, and act with integrity in all matters before them. Remind us that every choice made here affects the lives of others. May we be guided by compassion, patience, and a shared commitment to the greater good for our community. Bless our work tonight, that it may be productive, respectful, and rooted in unity. We ask for your guidance and peace as we move forward. Amen. Visits if anyone's interested. All right. Before we begin, you have the meeting minutes for April 14th, 2026, the work session. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Kane, seconded by Mayor Garnto. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent. Delaney. Deputy Mayor Kane. Deputy Mayor Raymond.
Yes.
Mayor Garnto.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, we have a special proclamation before us this evening, Resolution R-207-26, recognizing Kyle Kovacs as the first firefighter to be accepted into the United States Naval Postgraduate School Center for Homeland Defense and Security. Whereas on December 19, 2025, Kyle A. Kovacs graduated from the United States Naval Postgraduate School Center for Homeland Defense and Security. Whereas Kyle is the 10th New Jersey resident and first firefighter to be accepted into this prestigious program. And whereas located on the base at Naval Support Activity, Monterey, California, the Naval Postgraduate School Center for Homeland Defense and Security is the nation's leading Homeland Security educator. And whereas the Center for Homeland Defense and Security, CHDS program, participants develop critical thinking, leadership, and policy skills. CHDS is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the National Preparedness Directorate, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and the United States Navy. And whereas throughout the 2-year hybrid program, Kyle collaborated with Homeland Security officials from across the nation on current policy, strategy, and organizational design challenges. And whereas Kyle's coursework included Homeland Security Studies, Policy and Leadership, legal aspects of government, near-peer conflict studies, terrorism and the psychology of extremism, intelligence operations, media relations, critical infrastructure engineering and protection, capability building, and strategy and innovation. And whereas Kyle's class received a letter of commendation from members of the Pentagon for their work on drone security and interdiction, now therefore be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the City of Garfield, Bergen County, New Jersey, that we hereby recognize and commend Kyle for his outstanding achievement and extend our sincere congratulations. Is there a motion on the resolution?
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Mayor Garnto, seconded by Deputy Mayor Raymond. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent. Delaney.
Do we say our comments before the, Okay, before I vote, I just want to say, well, I mean, you really outdid Jimmy in this one. Yeah, he'll never come close to this, but never. So give up now, Jimmy. We all, the entire city realizes how the Kovacs family is involved with our fire department. But then we hear this, and God's honest truth, I have no clue what this is. Whatsoever. But I did listen to the resolution. And I was in awe. Always been awe. You've always been, top-notch firefighter for the city, Garfield, volunteer for the city. And then your job. Throughout, your entire family. Congratulations. You make the city of Garfield, you make the family very proud. You make all of us proud. And we're proud of you. And way to go. Way to go. Thank you very much. With that, I vote aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane.
Kyle, I was actually talking to my wife before the meeting because you actually went to high school with her. And she said that even in high school you were totally into all this fire stuff and doing everything even back then, which is awesome. And for the people who don't know who are watching at home, the Naval Postgrad School Center is one of the most elite schools in the country. It's not just some random, trade school or something down the block. It is elite. And the first firefighter to get that, and it's honestly, this is why Garfield is called the City of Champions, because of people like you and putting the name on the map time and time again. So thank you for everything you do. Thank you to the firefighters and everyone. But Kyle, we are very proud of you, and thank you for making Garfield look great tonight. Aye.
Deputy Mayor Raymond.
Yes, of course, I'm so sad that I can't be there tonight, I'm home with this knee, with we're on the knee, but Kyle, we are very proud of you. I go back many, many years with your family. In fact, your dad used to play on the street. We were all kids together on Sampson Street. He and your uncles, your grandfather was the store we went to all the time. So I go back a long time with the Kovacs family. Kovacs family they're a very integral part of the city of Garfield. We have many of them that are firefighters, but tonight, Kyle, you shine. To become a Homeland educator from one of the most elite schools is such a feather in your cap, your family's cap, and of course, it's such an identifiable honor for our city. You made Garfield very proud, and we are all very proud of you, and this was quite an accomplishment. I really regret that I couldn't be there tonight because this was something I really wanted to be part of. But you have my 100% support, and I thank you so much, you and your family, for all that you do for our community. You really, really are an integral part of it. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Kyle.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
I vote yes. I vote yes.
Thank
Okay, I
you.
was just going to ask, what's your vote?
Mayor Garnto.
Okay, I'm not going to bore you with what was already just said. You're elite. The Kovacs family, the Mr. and Mrs., and the entire family I know you are, but you should be extremely proud of your son today. I mean, for him to be recognized and to be the first firefighter to ever be chosen for this honor says it all. Again, what was said is, I don't know what more I can add. Kyle, I just want to say congratulations, well deserved, and you definitely made us proud. Thank you. And I vote yes.
Okay, with that being said, motion carries. At this time, I'd like to ask Kyle to step forward to receive the proclamation from the mayor and council.
I'm not going to read it, just to let you know better, but congratulations. Well deserved. You sure you want to do? I'm sure you should. You sure? You sure? We gotta do whatever you want. Thank you. Congratulations.
Kyle, do you want your family to come forward for a photo as well? Yeah, why not?
Family? City Hall, everybody, get up there.
I did it, you know. Couldn't have been happier too, Kyle.
Yeah.
Mind if the family's, camera takes another picture?
Yes.
I know what you were at, but back on.
You want to get it in? Yeah, come on. You don't mind, do you? Let me stand by the desk. Yeah? You want to get in?
Sorry, fellas.
Thank you again. All right. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kyle. I just briefly, I wasn't going to say anything, but just seeing that the group of men that just stood, you know, on the dais with you is a testament to the coworker, friend, and firefighter that you are. So I want to acknowledge, you know, your support system for coming out, and, you know, you truly make the city of Garfield proud. You are an asset to our Fire Prevention Bureau, our fire department, and just to us for knowing you. So congrats again. Thank you everyone for coming. You're more than welcome to stay, but do not feel obligated to or feel funny for leaving. I do like to always make that anecdote because sometimes people feel funny to leave. So it was amazing to see you for such a joyous occasion. Congrats. We do have one, yes. We do have one other proclamation, Resolution R-208-26, honoring Pastor Nana Kwesi Bediako, who I do not believe is here. It came at the request of Councilman Rigoloso, so I'm just going to ask for a motion on the resolution at this time.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. I have a motion by Mayor Garnto, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kane. On roll call, Councilmembers Rigoloso, absent. Delaney?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane? Deputy Mayor Raymond?
Yes.
Mayor Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next we have our ordinances being read on first
Good night.
reading.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone. Nice to see
You
you.
guys don't want to stay?
Deputy Mayor, we're clean, the room's clearing out, so just bear with us. Okay.
Okay, ordinance is being read on first reading, Resolution R-209-26, introduced ordinance 3139 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Chapter 100 entitled Cannabis of the Code of the City of Garfield be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard at a meeting held on May 12, 2026 at 6 p.m. or soon thereafter, same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard, and be it further resolved that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law for the governing body and the members of the public. This ordinance addresses the late fees for the cannabis establishments for their annual renewal payments. With that being said, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And I'll second it.
I have a motion by Mayor Garnto, seconded by Deputy Mayor Raymond. On roll call, Councilmembers Rigoloso, absent. Delaney?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Raymond?
Yes.
Mayor Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution R-210-26, introduced ordinance 3140. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Chapter 310 entitled Tow Trucks of the Code of the City of Garfield be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard at a meeting held on May 12, 2026 at 6 p.m. or soon thereafter, the same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard, and be it further resolved that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law. For members of the public and the mayor and council, this ordinance increases the annual fee for our tow truck providers. Is there a motion?
Second.
I have a motion by Delaney, seconded by Mayor Garnto. On roll call, Councilmembers Rigoloso, absent. Delaney?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane? Deputy Mayor Raymond?
Yes.
Mayor Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution R-211-26, introduced ordinance 3141. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing cost recovery for the use of specialized firefighting foam and other expendable resources by the Garfield Fire Department in response to hazardous material incidents be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard at a meeting held on May 12, 2026 at 6 p.m. or soon thereafter, same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard, and be it further resolved that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law for members of the public and the mayor and council. Several of the gentlemen who just left the room had requested this ordinance. It permits the city to incur costs when they respond to fires and hazardous materials are used. For instance, as many of us know, PFAS and its relation to firefighting foam. Having this ordinance allows us to recoup and some of the costs, in those instances.
Oh, great.
Any questions on the motion? Okay.
Second.
Motion by Delaney, seconded by Mayor Garnto. On roll call, Councilmembers Rigoloso, absent. Delaney? Deputy Mayor Kane? Deputy Mayor Raymond?
Yes.
Mayor Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution R-212-26, introduced ordinance 3142 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to authorize the improvements of Waterville Avenue Phase 1 in by for City of Garfield, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $645,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard at a meeting held on May 12, 2026 at 6 p.m. or soon thereafter, same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard, and be it further resolved that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law. For members of the public, the mayor and council, this bond ordinance is for the improvements on Porterville Avenue, as stated in its title, to which we have received grant funding for. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Deputy Mayor Kane, seconded by Deputy Mayor Raymond. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent. Delaney?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane? Aye. Deputy Mayor Raymond?
Yes.
Mayor Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution R-213-26, introduced ordinance 3143 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend Part 2, General Legislation, Chapter 150, Food Handlers Mobile of the City Code of the City of Garfield be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard at a meeting held on May 12, 2026 at 6 p.m. or soon thereafter, same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard, and be it further resolved that the city clerk be, she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law. For members of the public and the mayor and council, this ordinance doesn't change anything inside regarding our food truck permits at Columbus Park, but what it does do is add an additional permit for one food truck on the perimeter of Columbus Park.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Mayor Garnto, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kane. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent. Delaney?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane? Deputy Mayor Raymond?
Yes.
Mayor Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution R-214-26, introduced ordinance 3144, be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend Chapter 260, Sanitation, Article 7, Permits, Licenses, and Fees of the City Code of the City of Garfield be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard at a meeting held on May 12, 2026 at 6 p.m. or soon thereafter, same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. And be it further resolved that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law. For members of the public and the mayor and council, this ordinance amends our fee structure for our health department fee licenses that are issued as discussed. Is there a motion?
I'll second.
Motion by Delaney, seconded by Mayor Garnto. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent. Delaney? Deputy Mayor Kane? Deputy Mayor Raymond?
Yes.
Mayor Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution R-215-26, introduced ordinance 3145, be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Chapter 260 of the Code of the City of Garfield entitled Sanitation by adding a new Article 15 regulating massage and bodywork therapy establishments be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard at a meeting held on May 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. or soon thereafter, same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard, and be it further resolved that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law. For members of the public and the mayor and council, this ordinance establishes a code for massage parlors and establishments within the city that coincides with the state's regulations as requested by our health specialist.
Madam City Manager, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do we have any massage parlors in Garfield?
Yes.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Any further questions? If not, is there a motion?
I'll second.
I have a motion by Delaney, seconded by Mayor Garnto. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent. Delaney?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane? Deputy Mayor Raymond?
Yes.
Mayor Garnto?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, now moving on to ordinances being read on second reading. Resolution R-216-26, introduced ordinance 3131 on second reading. Whereas a public notice has been given by the city clerk that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend chapter 48-1 of the Code of the City of Garfield entitled Department Established Personnel to revise the table of organization of the police department was introduced and passed at a meeting held on April 14, 2026, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting, and whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the City of Garfield that said ordinance pass on final reading.
All right, at this time, I'm going to open up to the public for any public comments or concerns for this ordinance 3131, and this ordinance only. If you have anything to say, any public comments or concerns, step up to the mic, state your name and address, please. Being I see no one coming up to the mic, I'm going to close this portion of the public comments down and turn it back over to our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there a motion on the ordinance?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? I have a
I'll second.
Okay. I have a motion by Mayor Garnto, seconded by Deputy Mayor Raymond. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent Delaney.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane. Deputy Mayor Raymond.
Yes.
Mayor Garnto.
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution R-217-26, introduced ordinance 3135 on second reading, whereas a public notice has been given by the city clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance amending chapter 100-5E6 of the Code of the City of Garfield to modify Sunday hours of operation for cannabis establishments was introduced and passed at a meeting held on April 14, 2026, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same, now therefore be resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Garfield that said ordinance pass on final reading.
All right, at this time, public portion is, of this meeting is open for any public comments or concerns in reference to this ordinance only, 3135. Public comments or concerns, step up to the mic, state your name and number. I see no one coming up, so I'm going to close down the public portion and hand over the meeting back over to our city manager.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Is there a motion? Is there a second? I have a motion by Delaney, seconded by Mayor Garnto. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent Delaney. Deputy Mayor Kane. Deputy Mayor Raymond.
Yes.
Mayor Garnto.
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution R-218-26, introduced ordinance 3136 on second reading, whereas a public notice has been given by the city clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend Part 2 General Legislation, Chapter 325 Vehicles and Traffic of the City Code of the City of Garfield was introduced and passed at a meeting held on April 14, 2026, and that further consideration of this ordinance will be taken up at this meeting, and whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Garfield that said ordinance pass on final reading. For members of the public and the mayor and council, this ordinance provides for a better framework for adding stop signs in the future, but it also adds the stop sign at Jewel and Columbus Street.
Okay,
Columbus Avenue, sorry.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to open up for any public comments or concerns in reference to this ordinance only, 3136. Any public comments or concerns, step up to the mic, state your name and number and address. No number, just your name and address. I see no one coming up to the mic. I'm going to close public comment portion down and hand it back over to our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
All right, I have a motion by Mayor Garnto, seconded by Deputy Mayor Raymond. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent Delaney.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane. Deputy Mayor Raymond.
Yes.
Mayor Garnto.
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution R-219-26, introduced ordinance 3137 on second reading, whereas a public notice has been given by the city clerk that an ordinance entitled Bonds Ordinance to authorize the making of public improvement and the acquisition of new additional or replacement equipment and machinery, new communication and signal systems equipment, new information technology equipment, and a new fire engine, and new automotive vehicles, including original apparatus and equipment, and by for the city of Garfield, County of Bergen, state of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $1,843,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, was introduced and passed at a meeting held on April 14, 2026, and that further consideration of this ordinance will be taken up at this meeting. Whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Garfield that said ordinance pass on final reading.
Okay, public comments or concerns, step up to the mic, state your name and address for this ordinance 3137, this ordinance only. I see no one coming up to the microphone, so I'm going to close the public portion down and hand over the meeting back over to us.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there a motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Delaney, seconded by Mayor Garnto. On roll call, council members Rigoloso, absent Delaney. Deputy Mayor Kane. Deputy Mayor Raymond.
Yes.
And Mayor Garnto.
Before I vote yes, I just want to clarify, this money is for the new fire truck that we're getting, that would take about 36 to 42 months to come in, correct? Or is that the one with number 5? Company
No,
five?
they said this one includes the fire truck.
For
This
Company 5 or
For Company 2.
Company 2? Okay.
Yes.
And the DPW truck also is in there, too?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I vote aye, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Resolution R-220-26, introduced ordinance 3138 on second reading, whereas a public notice has been given by the city clerk that an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Making of Various Public Improvements and the Acquisition of New Additional or Replacement Equipment and Machinery, and a new automated vehicle, including original apparatus and equipment and by for the water utility of the city of Garfield, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $520,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, was introduced and passed at a meeting held on April 14, 2026, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Garfield that said ordinance pass on final reading. So mayor and council, this is similar to the previous bond, but this is specifically related to the water utility. It includes a new vehicle, new hawk machines. I know this was previously discussed at a prior meeting. We were taking the approach of doing a capital ordinance, which it was suggested to vote that down and adopt a bond ordinance. Also, new fire hydrants, everything related to the water department for this one.
Okay, at this time, the public portion is open. Any public comments or concerns, step up to the mic, state your name and address. I see no one coming up. I'm going to close the public portion down and hand the meeting back over to our city manager, Mr. Lynn.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Garnto, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kane. On roll call, council members Rigloso, absent, Delaney. Deputy Mayor Kane. Deputy Mayor Raymond.
Yes.
And Mayor Garnto.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, that concludes our ordinances for the evening. With that being said, before I ask for a motion on the consent agenda, are there any questions from the governing body for our bills list? For our bills list, there are Passaic Valley water bills on our ratification list. Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. Are there any
Thank you.
further questions from the governing body? Yes, on the ratification list. Yeah. If there's no further questions, I can entertain a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Delaney, seconded by Mayor Garnto. On roll call, council members Rigloso, absent, Delaney.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Kane. Deputy Mayor Raymond.
Yes, on all items except Passaic Valley water.
And Mayor Garnto.
Yes on all items except State Valley. Water.
Okay, the motion carries with the exception of payment to Passaic Valley Water. Mayor, that concludes my portion of the agenda this evening.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Delaney. At this time, I'm going to open up the meeting for any public comments. If you have anything to say, step up to the mic, state your name and your address, please.
There's like 3 of them up here.
Pick the one that works.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This works?
If you just hold down the button, if it turns green, it's on. Sorry.
There you go.
If it's lit up green, right? Oh, is that it? There you go, I got the boss's mic, there you go. Abdel Sardena, 33 Wood Street, Garfield, New Jersey. I want to say I saw the video, the repaving. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm glad that we have this, coming in and it's going to be coming out in full effect. I know it's hard work coming out. It took you guys almost the whole year, which is great, right? Now that we're finally getting this process going. And I want to thank you all for getting this going and whatnot, I can now finally go get some coffee right down the street easier. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Leave it there? All right. It's the one directly in the middle.
I was gonna make a joke and say, do it. Remember your address?
Oh, Wood.
No, I know. The last meeting, I kept saying, do it. I was gonna make a joke.
Good evening, Jerry Ledford, 77 Morris Avenue. I would like to know if there is a noise ordinance. I know it used to be at 10 o'clock p.m. Afterwards, if there was noise that was excessive, it could be reported. I don't know if there's a morning time prior to which the noise problem, I'll call it a problem, is in effect. And with regard to that noise, if there are dogs in the neighborhood that are kept in their fenced backyards who bark incessantly, is there anything that could be done about that? And I am here on behalf of my neighbors.
Ms. Ledford, is in reference to the noise, what specific noise are you talking about? Because I live very close to you, and
Okay,
I hear the noise.
dogs barking.
Okay.
Dogs barking, and I know where you live, you know where I live. I do not believe that you would hear this from where you live.
I thought you were speaking in reference to the cars with the mufflers.
Oh, that's a whole
All
other
night long.
issue, and I'm not, right now I'm talking about dogs, yes.
Okay.
Mufflers are outrageous. My husband seems to think that they can pop something that makes the muffler make a large sound, I don't know.
So the noise ordinance is 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. You would call the police department, but in order for it to be to be issued a summons, it has to exceed a certain decibel.
I know what that is,
So we have
absolutely.
trained officers that would come out and do that. We also have humane officers, if there's, a concern with dogs. But your call either way would be to the police department, and it's 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
So if the dog is barking between
10
7 a.m. and 10 p.m., there's no recourse except to listen to the dog. Is that what I'm hearing?
Something here.
Yes.
Jerry, you may want to call the Bergen County Animal Control. Nobody's supposed to leave a dog outside barking all day.
It's not all day. Deputy Mayor Raymond, it is not all day, but when it occurs, it's loud and aggressive sounding.
How long does the dog bark? Do they bark for like an hour?
On and off for much of the day. And I do know where it's coming from. I do not want to say that publicly.
Yeah,
There
so
are two
I do
specific-
think that in both instances, the police department, like I said, they have trained humane officers, so.
To the police.
Yeah, through the police department.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to step up? Public portion of this meeting, make a comment? No? I see none. So at this time, I'm going to close the public portion down and open it up to our councilman for any comments or concerns.
Just a quick shout out again to Kyle Kovacs for the prestigious award that was granted to him.
You will laugh.
Completing the schooling. Also, shout out to Garfield YMCA for 5K this weekend. Weather wasn't great, but the enthusiasm was. Garfield Y's been doing it for many years, and it's a really good event. Also, I know they're doing the golfing for Garfield, I believe, next week, May 8th, so I'm sure there's still time to participate in that. It's always a good time, nice fundraiser. And I guess I know we have a barbecue coming up, I'm sure Kevin will talk about that. But I know before next meeting, there will be a day celebrated. It is called Mother's Day. And I'd like to wish all the mothers of Garfield and throughout all moms a happy Mother's Day, especially to our newest mom sitting up there at the dais, slash new mom slash new minister. Excellent job as a minister.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent prayers. But my mom's are the backbone of the country, without a doubt. So happy Mom's Day to all, especially to my brother. That's it. Oh, Tana, happy Mother's Day, Tana.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Deputy Mayor Kane?
I'll go quick. Congratulations. No, I'm not. I'm lying. I don't know what I said. Congratulations to Kyle again. Awesome job. May 9th, we have Barbecue Festival coming to Century Field. It's North Jersey Barbecue Fest. They're coming here. It's really cool. You go to garfieldevents.com or download the app or go to the Facebook page. It's out there. It's going to be a really cool event. They're going to have different barbecues from all over the world, not just the same truck. It's going to have a whole bunch of different variety of stuff in there. Bouncy houses, music, the whole 9 yards. And then on June 20th, we have a multicultural festival coming to Garfield as well. It's going to have a whole bunch of different acts from different countries, all different foods, Polish, Albanian, Greece, a whole different variety of everything, trying to include all nationalities in one. So swing by there if you can. That's on June 20th. Please, people, download the app. I keep saying it. I see so many questions being asked on Facebook that are answered right on the app, and you can save yourself a lot of time by going on. We're trying to get you guys all the information that we possibly can. I'm just going to talk about one thing. The trees. Well, we posted out a thing on Arbor Day that we're going to be planting 20 trees in Century Field on May 9th, which is actually the same day as the barbecue festival. So if you are at the barbecue festival and you want to swing by, you can see all the different species of trees getting planted on the other side of Century Field. Going to be a whole bunch of different types, some that don't even exist in Garfield right now, so we're bringing a whole bunch of different ones on there. And a good opportunity today to talk about, since Kyle was honored today, that if you were ever interested or anybody out there interested in joining the volunteer fire in Garfield, please contact fire department, contact one of us or the city manager, anybody, we'll get you the information to joining, and you could really excel, your education, and it opens up a lot of doors by joining, and you learn a lot of stuff there. Happy Mother's Day to everybody, especially my wife. I'll get in trouble if I don't say that.
You don't watch,
Not
don't
like,
worry, you're
not
good.
like anyone forgot to do that yet. But happy Mother's Day to everybody, Erin, Tana, everybody out there watching. And we'll see you guys next month. Enjoy.
Deputy Mayor Raymond?
Yes, while we're on the topic of trees, I got a call from a resident down by the waste plant down, what street is that?
The transfer
Side of Money. Yeah,
Okay.
down there. Did we take, she's telling me we took 20 trees away from there. I don't know if that's true.
Where was
Did
that,
we take
Tana?
trees away?
down by the monument. I was going to say, there weren't
the one-
20
where, by
trees to be
Passaic Street?
taken down.
No, not by the station, down that street. I don't want to say her name over.
Hepworth, I'm trying to think.
You know where the little church is there?
20 trees? I didn't even think there were any trees.
No, I don't, that's not accurate.
Definitely not.
Okay, well, she told me there were 20 trees, and I promised her that I would pass that on. And so that's why I just...
I will double check with Sam.
Yeah, they took down any trees because, I don't know, she said that the residents were going to get together and buy their own trees and plant them.
Okay.
I have no idea, she told me, I didn't know, because I don't go down that way that much.
Yeah, all right, I'll look into it.
And yeah, that barbecue sounds really good. I'm looking forward to that May 9th. And we're very proud of Kyle. The Kovacs family they really give us a lot of time and a lot of talent. And, you know, we're very fortunate. I know that family for years. We were kids together. Good family, very good family, and they're all active, and, you know, they donate their time to our community, and we appreciate it. And other than that, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I don't think any mother should have to cook that day. Everybody have a good time until we meet again.
Thank you, Deb.
Hopefully I'll be able to walk. I'm ready to ditch the walker.
Okay, that's good news. That's good news, Deputy Mayor. Anything else?
Okay.
You're done? Okay,
Thank you, Mayor. No, that's it for me.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'm going to start off by wishing everyone out there a happy Mother's Day, including my girlfriend Iris, including our city manager, Ms. Erin Delaney, including Deputy Mayor Kane's wife, Chrissy, including Councilman Delaney's lovely wife, including our Deputy Mayor Tanner Raymond. Also, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. As Joe said before, the moms are truly the backbone of our society. They really are. I'll be the first to admit, I couldn't do half of what a woman does with kids and what they do around the house. So, happy Mother's Day. Relax. Have your man or your husband take you wherever you want to go. Okay, I also want to talk about Special Needs Fair, May 16th at the Turf Field by Company 3, May 16th. What's the time of that? Do you know?
I think it's 11 to 1.
11 to 1. So let's not forget, there's a fair for special needs, May 16th from 11 to 1, I believe it is, at the Turf Field by Fire Company 3. I also want to thank Mr. Abdel Sedana for bringing up the project that's starting on Harrison Ave. Finally, long-awaited project, a joint project between the City of Garfield and the Borough of Lodi. There was a video that we put out there the other day explaining what's going to get done, but I'll say it again. The project should be complete by mid-June, end of June. That's if everything goes according to plan, the weather, they don't find any unforeseen incidents that occur. Right now, they're doing curbs and sidewalks. That should last 5 to 6 weeks. After that, they're going to proceed to do the milling and the paving, which would go from Outwater Lane to Frederick Street. That'll take about 5 to 6 days. So that would bring us to the middle of June. That's if weather permits and no unforeseen things come up. Also, the trees on Harrison Ave side as well as the Garfield, well, Harrison Ave, on the Garfield side as well as the Lodi side, will be planted probably in September. It's not going to be planted right away because of, I guess, the weather. I'm not an expert on that, but so I'm very happy to announce that that project's underway. I also want to congratulate Kyle. I mean, listen, we are so blessed to have these men and women who volunteer their time for the citizens of Garfield. You know, firefighters, that's not an easy thing. They do it for nothing, basically. And we're so blessed to have the talent. I mean, that Kovacs family, these are volunteers within our city, but they're paid firemen in other cities, as well as our new chief, Collada. He's a paid Patterson, I think, lieutenant or captain, as well as Kovacs, what is he, a chief or deputy chief?
Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Is chief.
Chief. So we are big time blessed to have these type of individuals in our city. What else did I want to bring up? I'm happy that we are getting that stop sign on the corner of Jewel and Columbus. Thank you, Ms. City Manager. Thank you to our police department, and thank you to where did he go? He's no longer here. Mr. Nemeth for bringing that up. Long awaiting though. That should have been there a while ago, but I'm glad that's happening. Ms. Ledford, I hear you loud and clear with the noise. I do hear dogs on my side also. It is a pain. It becomes a nuisance. And again, just call the police. I mean, they should be able to at least knock on the door and say, listen, could you have a little bit of courtesy for the neighbors? It's, you know, your dog has been barking for several hours, and most of the times they will comply and take them in. So what else did I want to say? Other than that, that's it. I'm going to say goodnight, and again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Great, thank you, Mayor. With that being said, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Deputy Mayor Kane, seconded by Deputy Mayor Raymond. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the meeting has adjourned. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Yes, yes.
You too.
Thanks.